Welcome back to another edition of Social Distancing sponsored by Suddenlink. I am joined with ECU alum and Jacksonville, North Carolina native Amanda Duffy. Amanda, welcome. Vonta Leach, former ECU football player, NFL great, Super Bowl champion, and a newly elected official of the local school board. Vonta, welcome.
Oh, appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
And the pride of Gastonia, North Carolina. Sorry, James Worthy and Sleepy Floyd. Uh, Harold Varner III, current member of the PGA Tour. The first thing I want to do is get each of you to tell me where you're calling from and what your daily routine looks like. Amanda, we're going to start with you.
Sure. So I am calling from Orlando, Florida right now, and actually a little more than a month over from relocating out of Chicago and down south to Orlando. So I've just recently taken on a new position with Orlando City, MLS and NWSL Professional Soccer Club based in Orlando. And um, so with this time, it's certainly a unique time for within a period, but also in the middle of relocation. And it's been a little bit of a blessing to have the additional time to get settled in and unpack and enjoy the immediate surroundings of where I'm living here in Orlando. But day to day, we've been on in a stay-at-home working environment for almost a month, and so a lot of my time has still been a part of my listening tour that I wanted to do as I got started into this position, doing it all by phone now instead of in person, and planning and mapping what this year could potentially look like for our professional athletes and professional soccer teams.
Yeah, great to hear. Vontae, tell us where you're calling from and what you've been up to.
I'm calling from Lumberton, North Carolina, where I live at. I just recently finished with the election on March the 3rd. I was so happy it was over with. But I did get elected to the school board. I don't go on until July. So my daily routine, workout in the morning time. Every morning I try to get me a workout in at the local high school. I run the bleachers, doing the stadiums. I take my own equipment out there to try to get a workout in. Other than that, spending time with the kids doing work. We doing work on the Zoom and doing different stuff.
Now, Vontae, two questions. Number one, at the weight room you work out, are there enough weights there for you to lift?
Yeah, listen here, but I don't do all that heavy stuff no more. I take it easy these days.
I got you. And then second question. Now, you mentioned you were elected to the school board. That's Robeson County, correct?
Yes, that's Robinson County School Board. Yes.
And what do you hope to accomplish with that position going onto the school board? Are you prepared to deal with all those parents?
Well, I guess I am. You can never be ready to deal with them. There are a lot of stuff that's going on with our local school board here. We need quality, equitable education across the board, which we don't have in our family. We need to put our kids first and what's best for all kids, not just certain kids that live in certain areas.
Yeah, good. You're doing servant leadership, and we appreciate that. Harold Varner III, tell us where you're calling from and what your daily routine looks like.
I'm calling from Charlotte, North Carolina, and I've been doing everything I've wanted to do, really, more or less. Like I've always wanted to do some work on some land, so I installed some French drains at my land I just bought. We installed a septic tank. Um, I've been on the lake, played golf. I went to Pinehurst and I played with Jack Massey and AJ Bleacher, so played with some ECU guys. I've been
Awesome.
doing everything that I couldn't do because of golf. I'm going turkey hunting next Monday, so just
Now, Now, hold up. With turkey hunting, are you calling your own turkey in, or are you getting someone to call for you?
No, someone calling it for me because I've only went deer hunting. I shot a 9-point, and I'm kind of on a hook right now. And I don't know, just do everything I just can't do when I'm playing golf. Just I don't know. I'm super fortunate to be in the position where I can still do stuff. So like, Amanda's got me doing like mad house duties and weird stuff. So that's kind of weird. I pressure washed the deck yesterday. I ain't never used a pressure washer in my life.
You didn't tear anything up, did you?
Yeah, all the paint came off one spot, and I just kept going. I'm not too worried about it. I just got to show the effort of me doing stuff that she wants me to do around the house.
Amanda, with your position as the executive director, executive vice president of the Orlando Pride of the Women's Soccer League, you have several national players that are on your roster. Tell me how your position came about and what the duties are of your position.
Yeah, so it's a new position for this organization. The past few years, I've been the president of the league itself, the National Women's Soccer League. So, with Orlando, as they were assessing and evaluating the state of the club in its entirety, and specifically on the women's side of the organization, there was deep conversation about how the investment and what level investment the ownership wanted to make. And what they ultimately decided was to create a leadership position that could oversee the business and the soccer parts of the club for the women's side, and wanted to invest deeply in the personnel, invest deeply in the training facilities, and start to establish a value and be a leader in the women's game as the business part of women's soccer continues to grow. And that was an attractive opportunity, as I've been a part of the leadership of NWSL and leading the women's professional game to a global standard over the past few years, to do that at a club level and help be a leader and set new standards with the athletes that we have and the resources that we have in Orlando. Was attractive and exciting for me to be able to come into this unique environment and make a difference.
Well, you certainly are representing East Carolina well, and we look forward to watching the growth of that team over the next several years. Harold, between pressure washing and turkey hunting, what are you doing to, work on your game, improve your game, and continue to be ready when this ends?
Oh, I've gotten I've gotten 2 lessons since the season stopped. I'm getting a lesson tomorrow. So I built a range at my house. So I've had 2 lessons there, and then I've played a lot of golf, just a lot of gambling, just trying to and then like turn my garage into a gym. So I've been doing the same stuff just to keep working, because I started playing pretty well when we were about to, and then we stopped playing. So I just want to be ready to just play, man. I mean, in the
Harold,
we're going to play a little. Okay.
Harold, take us through like when obviously we understand when an amateur gets a golf lesson, but like when a professional gets a golf lesson, tell us exactly what you're looking for from a swing coach.
Okay, so if I take like 3 days off, it'll take me about a week to be hitting it just as good as I was when I just stopped. So like, Brad will come and I'll hit some balls and he'll be like, kind of, what's your miss? So like right now I'm hitting it a little right and I'm not getting weight in like my right butt cheek kinda. It's kind of weird. So just work on keeping my knees a little bit more flexed through impact and on the way back. So we sit there and I just do it till I can't miss it up pretty much. But he's obviously visually looking at it and then seeing where the ball's going. And it takes a little bit longer when I'm at my range because I probably have 400 golf balls. So like you don't want to hit them all. So you have to go out there and pick them up. Well, we have a picker, so it doesn't take as much long as I think
You have someone that picks up your own range balls right now?
No, I'll pick them up. I have a little gator. I have a gator.
I got
I just push the picker around. No,
okay.
I can't wait for that.
I'm glad you clarified that. Vonta, you have a freshman. Your daughter's a freshman here at East Carolina. I know she's home and doing social learning. Have you been playing the professor role at home with her?
Listen, I let her do all of that and get online herself and deal with her professors and stuff. I got a young one now. I can't even hardly do the fourth grade work no more. So I got a young one
I'm
that I
always
have to
worried
look
about that.
over.
Like all these parents are like, I'm gonna help my kids through school. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, I couldn't help myself through school right now.
Speaking of that, Amanda, I know that you were here at the same time that one of our senior associate ADs, JJ McLam, was here at the same time. Is there truth to the rumor that when he obtained his master's degree, that you walked with him and accepted it on his behalf because of all the assistance you gave him?
The concept of that, the literal answer is no, but the practical answer is absolutely. I feel like JJ's master's degree should be on my wall next to mine.
Yeah,
Teamwork.
I agree. I think JJ's wife probably would agree with you as well. All of you have been out of college athletics for some time. As you're keeping up with East Carolina and college athletics in general, what is the biggest change that you see from your chair in college athletics? Harold, we'll start with you.
I think the athletes right now are really weak right now. I find it weird that every time something goes wrong, kids are complaining or they want to transfer. So like, there's always a way out in college now, which I think is very. It's kind of sad. It's like a mini pro league. So I watch it. So it's just really cool to see kids just like, be resilient and just how they handle adversity. And I take pride in that. Like, like the bad times in college when I didn't want to do the stuff that coach wanted me to do or not playing well. I like that. I still like that to this day. Like, how can I respond? So, obviously, I think it's something about getting older that, like, you always say, well, we used to do it this way. So, like, I'm getting to that age where, like, it was okay for, like, my coach to dig into me a few times. And now that's just not the case. I mean, I'm sure it is in football, but in golf, it's just, it's different concept.
Right. You're experiencing social distancing sponsored by Suddenlink. Vontae, what are the biggest changes in college athletics that you see?
The biggest change is social media. I think that's one of the biggest changes.
That's a
Just
good
like,
one.
hey, just like social media wasn't around when I was in college and stuff. It was just coming around. But it's good and bad. You use it for kids that's coming from small schools. It's easy for coaches and stuff to get in touch with them or put their stuff out there on what's that app they on Huddle. It's easy. The coaches don't have to travel everywhere to see kids. They can see them by a click of a button. Also, the way kids use social media and stuff these days, they always social media is always out there. They're always putting stuff out there, whether it's the schools or the individual. That's how to use social media.
Yeah. Amanda, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, social media, absolutely. But from my perspective and coming from one of the Olympic sports here, certainly seeing the investment in the sports and the facilities. I mean, just look at ECU as an example, in the stadium that I played in when I was at ECU versus what the women play in today, and also track and field, softball, baseball. That stadium was brand new when I was there, and that investment in the facilities and resources around these athletes is quite remarkable, and giving them every opportunity to be successful as an athlete, in addition to the resources to be the student part of that student athlete too. So it's really impressive, certainly what ECU has done over this time, and I see that across the country with more investment in the athletes and in the facilities and resources.
Yes, certainly times have changed since the three of you are in school, and all good commentary. Vontae, if Harold Varner had to play in the NFL, where would you put him? Is he like a slot receiver, punt returner? Like where would you see him on the football field?
I'm a kicker. He got to be a kicker.
Yeah, now you talk my language.
Yeah, kicker. And listen, and most kickers that's in the NFL, they can play golf. They can play some good golf, and that's all. Hey, That's because they only practice about 3 hours a day and they're on the golf course.
I'll be out. Later, guys.
Yeah, and Harold, could you make Vonta a good golfer?
No, I'm terrible at teaching. I tried to give a lesson yesterday and got quit. So if I can't teach a guy that already plays golf, I got no chance.
Yeah.
I'm a terrible teacher. Terrible.
And Amanda, if Vonta is doing 10 penalty kicks on a professional women's goalie, how many do you think he could score?
I give all the confidence to the keeper and in that Vonta, I'm sure, has a lot of power. I just don't know what accuracy he's going to come out with. So
Give me a
I
number.
don't even know how much work the keeper would actually have to do, really.
Oh,
but
Yay.
All right. I want to hear what the most memorable moment for each of you was during your time at East Carolina. Harold, we're going to start with you.
Making it to the national championship. Obviously, we lost to recruit that week, but we had never been to a national championship, and just seeing like the hard work just pay off. Yeah, that was by far the coolest thing, and it was my last event. So what a better way to go out?
Yeah, that's special. Amanda?
Mine would have been what I, obviously a team sport, but having set some records while I was there at ECU, it was pretty special when those times came through my senior season. They were successful seasons. Certainly my junior and senior years were, and they both followed a medical redshirt year after tearing my ACL. So the success of the team and certainly the personal records that came when I set the single season scoring record, that was a special moment for me.
Yeah, that's awesome. Vonta?
Mine, I guess, I played fullback at ECU, and when I got a chance to start running back against University of South Florida, we won the overtime. We lost the game, but I rushed for 137 yards carrying the football. As a fullback, that's what you want to do. That's my most memorable moment.
That's a good one, and that's a lot of rushing yards by a fullback. All right, you're experiencing social distancing, sponsored by Suddenlink. We'd really like to get into your minds with some really tough questions. The first question is, what is your number one rule of being under quarantine right now? Amanda, we're going to start with you.
Stay at home. I mean, it's quite simple. It's for me right now. It's stay home, practice the social distancing, and keep a routine that is consistent with what my schedule would be like otherwise, to the extent that I can.
Yeah, Vonta.
Man, I wash my hands probably about 1,000 times a day. Every time you touch something, you go out. You come in and you wash your hands.
Vonta, after you wash your hands, are you going a little lotion, or you no lotion after the hand wash?
Hey, no lotion at all. No lotion.
Harold, what are you doing?
The biggest thing for me is just I don't know. I would stay away from old people. I haven't watched the news in probably 2 months, so I don't know what's going on. But like when I first heard about it, I just heard that like old people were like, that was the ones that were getting it. They couldn't really fight it. So I was just like, all right, I won't talk. If I talk to my parents, I'll just talk away from them. I don't know, man. I've been just kind of chilling. I think I don't know. I've been at home, but like I gotta live. It'd be nothing worse than to die on your couch. Like how you build your immune system sitting on the couch. Like when you get old, they tell you need to get up, you need to walk, you need to keep, because your immune system's just getting weaker. And everyone's like, "Oh, I'm just going to sit here for 3 months and think that my immune system's going to fight it." I just don't. It doesn't add up.
Well, mine is making sure that I get up and shower each day, like I'm getting ready to do something. Second question is, best thing that you've watched during this pandemic on TV. Vonta, we're going to start with you.
The Exotic Tiger, Joe the Exotic Tiger.
Terrible.
Joe Exotic on Tiger King.
Yes.
What do you like about it, Vonta?
Listen here, man. That character was out there, man. He was out there. Listen, I know people like big cats and people like animals, but listen here. He was way out there, man. He was way out there.
Out there.
Way out there.
Home, E.T.
Amanda, what's your show?
The Tiger Show is on my list, but right now I just actually this weekend got fully up to speed with Schitt's Creek, the Netflix series that is quite humorous. So I'm that's been my show of choice so far.
Awesome. I've heard that's a good one. Harold?
I haven't watched the show, but I did see a septic tank come up out of the ground because it rained too much.
That's a good story in itself.
Yes.
And that literally is Schitt's Creek.
Yeah. Yeah. It was way over my head.
All right. If you had to sit next to someone on a 10-hour flight, who would that individual be? Harold, we're going to start with you.
That's
and why?
Does it have to be like your?
It can be
anyone.
Anyone you want. Just tell us why.
I'd sit next to Ben Hogan, and I'd pick his brain.
That's a good one.
I like to see how he swings the club and what he did to keep.
Yeah, that's great. Amanda?
My person, I would love the opportunity to have a conversation with Oprah and just learn more about her life and all of her leadership and achievements that she's had.
Yeah, she's been quite successful for sure. Vonta?
I would like to sit next to MJ, Michael Jordan.
I heard that.
Hey, just to talk with him, just to see what he's thinking, what he was thinking when big time games come up, and how he's so much a businessman and stuff. Now, just to pick his brain.
Yeah, Vonta, that's great. MJ, another Eastern North Carolina native from Wilmington. You know, Vonta, you've been a ECU Athletics Hall of Fame member. You were recently named the ECU Outstanding Alumni. You've been a Super Bowl champ. You're now getting ready to be a politician. Is a presidential run in your future? And if so, could I be your vice president?
Hey, not a chance that I'm running for anything else. This is it. School board probably going to be it.
All right. Last question. What other profession would you choose to be a professional in? What field of study would that be? Harold, we're going to start with you.
I would be doing something where I could just serve people. I don't know if I'd be a cop. I just think that our society needs a lot of help because we don't believe in other people. So, like, I just give people something to believe in. So right now it's through golf, but I think if I was any type of whatever I put my mind to, I would do a really good job at it as long as it served people.
Yeah, Harold Varner, servant leader. Amanda Duffy, what about you?
It's a great question, and a lot of what I've enjoyed doing it a couple times with some homes that I've had is in design and architecture. So if there were an opportunity to do more of that, I would certainly like that.
Favorite style of house?
Yeah.
Traditional. I watch HGTV all the time. What's your favorite style of house?
That's my show.
Yeah. And then Vonta, what about you?
I always wanted to be a teacher or something. My major, my minor is physical education that I got from ECU, and I always wanted to be like the gym teacher and a coach. So maybe one day, who knows? I go back and do that.
I did that for 2 years at a high school in Florida. It's a great experience. I can't thank each of you enough for being on this. I appreciate your insights. I'm thankful for your engagement with East Carolina Athletics. Want you to continue to be engaged. And when we come out of this, I'd love to have the three of you back for a football game at the same time where we could all recognize you for your tremendous service and accomplishments once you left East Carolina. This social distancing has been sponsored by Suddenlink. For Harold Varner, Amanda Duffy, and Vonta Leach, I'm Jon Gilbert. Go Pirates.
Go Pirates. Thank you.
Pirates.
Go Pirates.